Last time on My Hero Academia, we found out that the Doctor, aligned with All for One, had reworked the bullets made from Erie's blood, allowing them to restore those who they had been implanted inside of. But apparently, there's a hefty price that comes with it. We discovered that it had been implanted in 2 people as far as we know. All for One, who was restored to his former glory, ready to once again battle against Endeavor and Hawks. Dobby, who had also learned Todoroki's trick in order to keep himself going, even with his powers overwhelming him. And in the battle against Shigaraki, who is essentially just a meat puppet for All for One. Bakugo, whose heart was essentially exploded in his chest by Shigaraki, will be given a second chance at life, with Edgeshot unraveling himself further than he's ever gone, and apparently becoming Bakugo's heart. What does this mean? How does this work? Hopefully we'll find out. So join me, won't you? We have the narrator, Edgeshot's quirk. Full the body. Is this our first time actually finding out what his quirk name is? It allows him to stretch out his body, making it thin and spindly. After years devoted to training his quirk, he can now make his body even thinner and squeeze it tight enough to stop gushing blood, as thin as a spider's thread. We see Edgeshot unraveling himself inside of Bakugo's gaping wound. Edgeshot thinks to himself, Wash was good enough to give me one of his bubbles. With this, I shall sterilize my own body. Why would you think you needed that? At what point would you think, oh, I need one of Wash's bubbles? I'm just saying, that's like, well, okay, that's kind of weird. Whatever. Yeah, I'm like, okay, so he's just gonna stitch together Bakugo's heart. He's not going to literally become his heart. See, that actually makes a certain amount of sense. Although the downside here is that you understand that Bakugo's sternum and everything here, the bones and stuff, shattered. If it got to his heart, all this, the bones, protecting your heart, all here, shattered. So Bakugo should still be down for the count, just not dead. But back to Edgeshot's thoughts, I shall sterilize my own body before infiltrating the boy's innards. Ew. And the announcer goes, he could stretch his body out as thin as surgical sutures. However, remaining in this extreme state slowly but surely eats away at Edgeshot's life. Why? I don't understand. Why does this eat away at his life? Well, it's My Hero Academia number 365, titled Number 4 and Number 5. I guess the top heroes, right? Oh wait, okay, no. The stitching was already done by Best Jeanist, trying to close up Bakugo's heart. Edgeshot thinks to himself as he infiltrates Bakugo's body, saying Jeanist did his best to suture this, but he could not stop the bleeding or repair all the internal damage. His lungs are also injured. This body of mine can mend each organ inside and out, while aiding cardiopulmonary function. Jesus, that is specific. I shall revive his heart and lungs from the inside. So you're acting as a defibrillator too? That is insane. That is friggin' insane. Edgeshot thinks, keep fighting. Jeanist, Mirko, the villain's wounds show that your efforts are not in vain. Win the day. Regain consciousness. Come back to life. Again, I'm just saying, Bakugo should be done. Even if Bakugo's life is saved, he should be done. You don't just pierce a heart and that's all there is to it. I'm sorry. Unless you manage to just get up and under his sternum. I'm not trying to bash what's going on here. I'm not one of those people, but I'm just saying, there's more in this area than just your heart and lungs. Meanwhile, Shigaraki says, that one? I already destroyed that one. He comes creeping over with a mass of flesh attached to his left arm, dragging behind him, a sinister smile on his face. He has several thoughts. Oh, you even see, what was that one villain from the second movie? What was his name? You see him in one of the panels there. It's like Shigaraki's memories. I think it was when he decided he wanted to just destroy everything, where he said, why not destroy everything. Gotta destroy. Must stop the itch. And he says, I already destroyed that one! As he goes rocketing towards Best Jeanist and Bakugo. Jeanist prepares himself, but Mirako comes in with a flying kick to Shigaraki's face, having broken free of being held down, but she lost her robotic arm as well as it looks like she's bleeding on the side of her body too. But then the tendrils from Shigaraki go wrapping around Mirako's remaining arm and her bionic leg. Shigaraki simply says, You're that eager to get crunched. But Mirako just sneers at him with a malicious grin and says, What did you say? And Jesus Christ, she just lets her last remaining arm just get ripped off as she just full force just knocks Shigaraki to the ground. Shigaraki manages to recover, but he thinks to himself while holding his face, What the? Did I just stagger a little? With this body? That's not possible. I haven't felt real damage. But then he thinks back to, I don't even know when that was. He thinks, no wait. Best Jeanist calls out to Mirako, wrapping a cable around her bloody severed stump where her arm used to be. And Mirako, not even missing a beat, just yells out, What gives, huh? You're so gentle, Mr. Demon Lord. As she just goes racing on the ground on her bloody stumps. Like, Jesus Christ. Shigaraki thinks as he sends out a mass of tendrils towards Mirako, thinking, that last hit I took. But before he could really land a hit on Mirako, in comes Lemillion up through the ground, blinding Shigaraki's actions as Mirako goes racing around behind him, shouting, Eyes on me, chump! I'll die when it's my time to go. Jesus. Oh, he thinks back to that one attack from Bakugo, as he thinks, that did sting a little. Have I taken on too much damage? No, none of it's been that bad. In which case, he says, impossible. He thinks to himself again, with that last strike he did against Bakugo, when Bakugo seemed to have just learned his movements, he thinks, when I panicked back there, was I actually feeling threatened? Me? Menaced by some background extra? Mirako, with a menacing look but a smile on her face, says, He told me to win here, so I'll make good on that. And Edshot's last words ring out, Mirako, do not go quietly. As Mirako rushes at Shigaraki as she says, I ain't about to check out from the game of life with regrets left on the table. And she unleashes a fury of blows, shouting, Luna Rush! Shigaraki takes hit after hit after hit. You can see it in all of their eyes. The desperation from Mirako, the desperation from Lemillion, Sun Eater trying to go back into the fight, Hato desperately trying to pick herself back up, Jeanist looking completely destroyed, but still resolute. Shigaraki thinks, even though I already destroyed them. And he thinks back to his family, to the people passing by on the street when he was all alone, to his sister, to his grandparents, his mom, his dad. The Shigaraki buried within the personality of All for One awakens and says and thinks, I wasn't broken back then, but it's not like anybody reached out a helping hand to me. Mass of flesh on Shigaraki's left arm forms and contort, and Shigaraki thinks back to what he said previously. The more my body adapts to the legion of stockpile quirks within, along with various environmental factors, my body is searching, groping around for its ideal form. And he says, well, he thinks it's not like anybody would even look at me, as the mass of flesh starts to form into the image of his family. Jesus. But to a degree that makes sense to me, because there's no way Shigaraki just has too many issues for it not to start to come to the forefront. And the fact that there's two minds in there, two wills being impacted by everything going on around him, like even with all that power, Shigaraki's instability would still be a hindrance at the end, because he's never received any proper care because of that. And Shigaraki would have been easy to take over previously when he was just starting out, because he didn't have anything to himself. He didn't really have any substance to him. But through having his memories restored, yeah, Shigaraki would not be easy for All For One to control completely. But it just continues to be a thing where it's just like, man, it's really good that Shigaraki does not have his normal quirk present, cause Jeebus. And just Miriko's tenacity, like, losing both arms, and she did so willingly at every turn, like, God! At this point, she only has her, left leg? Jeez. I'm sorry, I'm just not into body mutilation like that. It's just a little too much. Like, it speaks to her tenacity, but honestly, it's like, it goes back to the fact that if anyone was going to die during this battle, I really thought it would have been Miriko. And I'm still wondering, is Hado gonna be able to get back up, because she took a hell of a hit and she's been down for a while. Sun Eater seems like he's about to get back into the fight. I still don't feel like Bakugo should be able to recover fully. That's the thing. It's cool that Bakugo's one attack managed to just throw Shigaraki off and had just about a delayed impact and all that, but I'm still gonna call bullshit. It's one thing to kind of patch up organs. Like, if Bakugo stays down, I can believe that maybe he can be healed to the point where it might work. But he still needs something that repairs his sternum. Like, I'm sorry, you can't bullshit beyond that. You don't just regrow a sternum. You don't just get that sutured back into place and you're fine. The man's heart was exploded from an external force. If nothing else, his sternum was caved in and then it poked through his heart. But then you still have a highly damaged sternum. Like, come on. I still feel bad for Mirika. She's just losing parts of herself left, right, and center. Though, ultimately, I applaud the fact that Horikoshi has really driven home that the heroes, despite bringing the kids into this battle, are not willing to sacrifice them in any way. Like, no, the kids will live on. If anyone is going to die, it's going to be us veterans. Like, we're the only ones who should lose anything in this battle. Like, you already feel shitty enough for dragging them into this fight. But hey, tell me your thoughts in the comments section below. How do you feel about Edgeshot repairing Bakugo's heart? Do you think Bakugo will be able to just jump up and get back into the fight, or do you think he should be down for the count? And what do you think about Miriko losing yet another limb? Just, God, the tenacity of that one. Jeez. And what kind of repercussions will come from Shigaraki's personality awakening more and more inside of that body? Will it ultimately be his downfall? Or are you happy that the true Shigaraki is coming to the forefront? Can't wait to hear from you. Remember to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications if you like this video. And until next time, I've been Duuz-Diz-Din, and I hope to see you in the next video. Till then, bye-bye.